Something's happened to the world. It began in our homes. A stalking, creeping thing that crawled into our beds and hid behind our doors. It began with our loved ones. The violence soon took to the streets, gleeful and enthusiastic. It exhausted the rescue services. It overran the military. For a time, there was only noise and confusion, but now it's all gone silent. It's not too late. The world is still out there. The pieces can fit together again. I can save it, but not without help. And so I found you, a lone child in a quiet place. I'm glad you're here with me. I know where we have to go. I remember the room. I'll take us there right now. Just follow my voice. A small act should be enough. Great, that worked. Here we are. I know the whole situation's a little confusing right now, but all I need you to do is push the big red button. The one right over there. That's a funny looking device. Wonder what it does. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and keep that thing. You never know. Anyway, red button. Wait. This isn't right. What's going on? Did we miss something? Oh, God. No, 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 no! Hey, kiddo, you awake? Feeling all right? Good, good. That didn't quite work out back there, I'm sure you noticed. So there must be something else that needs taken care of first, and we should find out what that is. Try walking around for a bit. Let's get our bearings. Someone left something behind here. Break out that gizmo of yours. Let's see if we can find it. There haven't been any newspapers for a while now, and the last ones all said pretty much the same. Disaster continues! Evacuate now! That sort of thing. Plenty of gossip magazines left, though, if you want to know who was dating whom before they lost themselves.
Okay, I'll admit that it's pretty fun to swing the hammer around. Not much room for that when you're keeping trains from crapping out. Still, they could at least get someone else down here to help hold the planks. Damn it. I'm a train mechanic, not a railway worker. Someone's gotta fix the bridge. Fine. Get anyone to do it. I don't know any more about bridges than the next guy. I need a hit. Last of the planks now. Can't wait to get out of here. Good enough. Should hold for people on foot at least.
The experience is different every time. Unique, like the shards of a broken window. But they're all like dreams at first, half forgotten and hazy. Then it becomes clear and it's like they're right next to you. Isn't that strange? Anyway, let's move along. There's more to be done.
I can hear them from time to time. It used to sound like war not so long ago, when we still tried to hold them back. Now all you hear is the occasional scream and that deranged, ecstatic laughter. Let them stay here. Please, let them die here.
Ah, Atlas Park. Lush, tranquil, secluded. They built it for the view, and the symbolism, and the utility. This is the city of Chernosk, where innovation is key and even the architecture is experimental. Let's have a look around the park. I think we're going to find something here. Maintenance? I don't see any stairs. This is a fire hazard. For the record, I did say this was the city of innovation and not the city of functioning utilities.
Was that Tanya just now? I could swear it was. And she had this huge bag. Can't be here for me. They hardly ever noticed I was even there, so... Oh no. They're going through with it. This stuff William was raving about. Do I tell someone?
Hey, mister. Are you looking for someone? Mister? What are you doing? No! No! Help! Help!
Ice cream! Get your ice cream here. Soft serve, banana split, trinkets to ward off the madness, anyone? They're all magic and they're all cheap. Ma'am, how about a talisman for the little one?
Oh, raspberry twirly and chocofish. I wish there was still ice cream.
Have you ever seen those photos of old abandoned playgrounds? Animal figures all faded and warped. Creepy stories to go with them. There's something about a fresh new playground, silent and still, that's worse.
We set up a trust fund for Joyce when she was born. Assorted stocks and assets, but mostly shares from the Institute. Part of the annual bonus packages. It's all worthless now, unless someone goes back there. And no one is ever going back there. Riho, I'm sorry. It was my fault. I wanted Eagle View to work out for us, but I should have listened to you. Joyce asks about you every day, and I tell her you'll come as soon as you're done helping out there. She smiles, and I see you in her eyes.
It's him. Gotta be him with those golden glasses. He's been following us. I knew it. Did he see me? No, couldn't have. Oh God, Joyce! Where's Joyce? Enough. Take our food, take our things. People are disappearing. Little girl takes a fall. You think we can't see what you're doing here? Enough! Death to fascists!
Chernobyl never participated in international sports or fostered any celebrities, because it was built with private money, populated by invitation. Tucked away at the foot of the mountains, Chernobyl never made more noise than it had to.
You have it? Keep your voice down, idiot. Yeah, I have it. What do you have?
Lorazepam. Here, look. 24 doses, and it's popular already.
A gun? You bought a gun?
For our safety. There's no telling who's after us or where they are now. You saw what happened. Look, I'll leave it here. Someone shows up, you know where to find it. It wasn't my fault! It was him! He followed us here!
Coward! Damn you, I should have known! All you ever do is run!
Selma, wait! This isn't you, it's that thing, it's still active, you know that! Selma! Selma, no!
Do you think she wanted to do that, or did she, in the moment between breaths, simply forget that she didn't? It's still active. That's what he said. Whatever happened to everyone is still happening.
We gave Pavel and Salma some basic medkits in this house so they could start up a clinic of sorts. Said they were doctors, but not what kind exactly. Is that why someone targeted them? To sabotage us? No, it doesn't explain the girl. Pavel Kuliak, that was your name. You're dead because we failed to catch whoever is bringing guns in. You're dead because I failed. Now all I can do is look for your killer like I'm still a detective. But why you and the girl? What's going on? So, what about her? Salma Anderson. Park roster has the girl listed as her daughter, but doesn't say if Pavel was her husband. And now she's gone into thin air. An entire family, just like that. And I can't answer the most important question. Why? Arturo Montiel, 27 years old. Says he knows where the guns are coming from and who killed Pavel, but won't spill a word until I guarantee his safety and comfort. I'll see what I can do. Poor bastard's been sleeping under a tree. Drugs and weapons. Pills, needles, powders, uppers, downers, sheaves and switchblades. We've been confiscating this stuff for a long time now, but more of it keeps finding its way in. I can't help but wonder if there's a central supplier.
They hate us. When we first came marching in, I think most of them were relieved. Then we had to stockpile the food so we could ration it. Then we had to crack down on dissent before it could take root. Now, they hate us. And who could blame them?
When there was still some semblance of order, his platoon was assigned to a roadblock on the Chernosk Highway. The evacuation was to be orderly. As the lines grew longer, panic became anger. The cars are still there, a memorial to the greater good.
She fell from here. But what was she doing here in the first place? The hole is clearly visible. She wouldn't be playing so close to it. Was she pushed? Somebody said they heard several screams. But who would do such a thing? You had a lot of enemies here, people who hated you. Maybe I did too. But now, I'm just sorry it had to end this way. It was one of mine who shot you, I don't doubt it. So I'm sorry, Sergeant, for that, if nothing else. People are disappearing. Too many to ignore, too quietly to have left. The soldiers say they haven't seen anything, but what if it's connected to the deaths? Darwaza, Pavel, the girl. Everything's coming apart and there's something I'm not seeing. I feel like I'm on the verge of understanding, but that might just be wishful thinking. I should take stock of the evidence. So much death. Darwaza was shot by a civilian, I'm sure of it. Had nothing to do with Pavel, but the guns are the exact same model. A a military model. But why supply the civilians? Unless that was never the intention, then who could trade for them?
It's a powerful compulsion, the why. These are the questions that drove Andropov on, even more so than the who. Why would someone want to hurt us? Why these people? Why now? Why am I the only one who cares?
They call me liaison. Tells me I'm important for the relations here between them and my people. My people. Drafted most of my officers too. Sold them some story about restoring order. I really thought we had something here.
I always wondered, when there are few humans left, does an individual life become precious? Or is it just one more on the pile? Now this is interesting. Cameras, microphones. Turns out Atlas Park is a lush green police state. Who do you think used to monitor all this? And what were they afraid of?
That is Pavel and Salma, sure of it. And the child. Salma's daughter? Her name. Joy? Impressive to have made it here. But why? Were they informed about the park? No longer sure about staff integrity. Can't risk it. My responsibility. Marius Grigori. Lead engineer, Atlas Park Quadrant. Inventor of the MT-16 Bogatyr system. Level 4 clearance. Almost done. Will be useful, sure of it. Would appreciate prototype, but blueprints workable. Where to deliver? Head office surely evacuated. Mountains? Prototype kept there, no need. Authorities best bet, if authorities still exist. Signal. Signal. Need stronger signal. City Hall quadrant, dark. Grey light quadrant, dark, ironically. Harbor quadrant, still transmitting distress signal. Atlas Park quadrant, operational. So far. With absolute certainty it was him. Would know that voice anywhere. Why the girl? Can't have been intentional, no motive. Salma's girl. Rio's girl. Salma here, and Rio? Confusing. No sign of the effects. Must have a plan.
I remember something. A long, screaming sound. And an endless silence. That was before I opened my eyes. Before I found you. A locked steel hatch? I don't know about you, but when I see a locked steel anything, I get awfully curious. Looks like we'll have to pry it open.
Old man detective is sniffing around again. Shithead thinks he's still a cop, but can't hurt to be safe, what with the witness he dug up. Can't count on the Green Boys either. So, worst comes to worst, I cut my losses and get out through here.
Be advised. Systems operation compromised. Security lockdown protocol in effect.
He's okay. I've never used a gun before. I'm sure I just grazed him. He'll be okay. Do I go back? No, I can't. Nothing's there for me. Nothing at all. Oh, Joyce.
Have you ever seen doors like these in sewers? Looks more like a prison or a bunker to me. In fact, I'm not sure these are sewers at all. They don't smell right. There should be a moist stench, but these tunnels smell like burnt copper?
Movement in the sewers. Multiple signatures. Military personnel, must be. Breached automatic lockdown. Threat to security. Surveillance. Emitter. Emergency action required. But response team no longer available. On me then.
Mom has been arguing with Pavel a lot, but she won't say why. She won't tell me where Mommy is either, but I heard her say Mommy's name yesterday. She was crying. I wanted to watch the stars, but it's always cloudy.
4 quadroon centers, 8 service stations. 12 switches. Cables, cables, cables. Chernoskan anthill. Entire system connected. Deadman switches triggered. Accessible from here.
He was always older than his years. Always fascinated with the connections between things. There's poetry in instruction manuals, and art in electric circuits. He built his own dynamo at the age of 12, then set out to connect it to something. This thing's busted pretty bad. Patching it up might release the magnetic clamp locks on those heavy doors. But where could we find a band-aid? Falling is a gentle thing until the end. The idea of her last thoughts will haunt everyone here, because even now there are crimes too abhorrent to consider. Horrors that surpass the very death of the world. Falling is a gentle thing, for all of us.
Corporal Bodrov built defenses. Corporal Bodrov addressed the unrest. Up yours, Sarge. You got what was coming to you, and I didn't even have to do it myself.
Never paid this Arturo guy any mind. Just another shit stain with nothing to trade. Now Andropov's giving him his own tent because he found something to trade with? Me? Says he knows where the guns came from, bud. Does he? Oh, you're in trouble, kid. September 12th. I'm stuck. Andropov is expecting me to talk, and I keep stalling him. He's been giving me food, good food, and as soon as he has my testimony, that stops. And what about the trinket salesman? Does he know? Oh God, what do I do?
There's a story about a man who sold his mouth so he could afford to eat. A victim complex is a warm and comfortable paralytic. The 4 founders. 5, actually, but one of them only left their shoes. They built Chernos to be a Carthage of industry and progress, and invited people from all over the world to come join them. Then they had a falling out, and the rest is muddled history.
The team we sent down into the culverts report they have found a number of machines and electronic devices that could be salvaged, along with spools of copper wire and extra fuses. Perhaps we can finally boost the radio signal and reach someone. We had to destroy the stairs. A drastic measure, but after we confiscated the food, we found several civilians trying to sneak into the camp. It's possible they will come in force next. They were here first, after all. Hearts and minds, huh?
Oh, they just had to. Call down artillery on us while you're at it, why don't you? Right. Unless you want to try rebuilding that thing, I guess we're using another way up there.
Okay, I will be Princess Scarlet. You can be Ago, the barbarian, or the dragon rider. You can't be the prince. Ew!
This is strange, but it seems somehow relevant, don't you agree? I think it's out of order, which should hardly surprise us. Like a soda machine when you're really thirsty. Well, let's see if we can't find a way to get it fixed.
Hey, guy! How are you doing in there? What's that? The bucket is full. Well, balance it on your head for 5 minutes and I'll give you a new one. You know, when the Sarge told me to address the unrest, I thought it would be the worst assignment ever.
An underground gulag. There are scratch marks on the bars.
Disable grid, disassemble device. Simple process, if undesirable. No choice. Military, opening wrong doors, system at stake. Can't raise head office on radio or the mountains. Alone. My decision. No choice, really. A meter, a threat. Must disable power grid first. Bright side, Salma will have a chance. Last little mercy. At the spark quadrant, dark. Chernosk, safe. Project discontinued. NATO hide emitter component, finish the job. Code 2044, must remember.
This installation was his pride and joy. He stayed at his post through the storm and kept the machines running and the data ticking. And then he shut it all down to save us from it, and it from us. I wonder what it feels like to amputate your own sense of purpose.
Advised. Operational status restored. Lifting security lockdown.
There we go. I'm not sure what you did, but I feel different. Do you feel it too? Like 100,000 voices at the back of your head? No? Maybe it's just something I ate. I think we're done here, though. We should move on now.
Repair the bridge? Why? What's the point when we can't even clear out that tunnel the military messed up?
Welcome to Depression Scenic Tours. If you look to your right, you can see the end of society. On your left, more of the same. Please keep your belongings close and try not to get murdered. If you see something, say something. Mind the gap. This train doesn't seem to be in working order, but it's the only one here. Since our destination lies outside the city, we best find a way to get some repairs done on this old beast.
Marcus, you were almost clean. You didn't need that dirt. Your back stopped hurting years ago. Some stranger dangles a needle in front of your eyes and you dance. Drop your tools and walk away. What will you do next time you run out? What will I do?
This was the pride of Chernosk's railway, its heart. Grunbach Memorial Station, a stunning proof of concept. More recently, this is where people came to flee the city. I wonder if the trains are still running.
All this subterfuge crap is getting on my nerves. What are we waiting for? More desperate assholes from the park? We're the ones with guns. She wants to do the whole surprise thing. We out to just shoot them.
He's perfect. A specialist tool with none of the usual limitations. A weapon, just waiting for the right hand. The military gave him some semblance of discipline. What will the wide open world do to him? Ugh. Last cleaned. Unintelligible.
I can't believe my luck. I was all out. I think Benno was hiding some. And then she shows up. A whole box. And all I gotta do was a little bit of nothing? Take the key, lady. Take it. And thanks.
She's bought us a couple of sad little men like a pound of flesh. Fine, we're gone. But I'm putting it all down here in ink. And I'm leaving the journal. Go to hell, lady.
He spent his entire adult life in this station, watching the trains come and go. Could never imagine any other life. Told himself that he wasn't afraid, just content. and perhaps that's true. But I think he was finally ready to buy a ticket for himself.
Can you get these posters up? It's information about how the trains are running now that the Eagleview folk keep going back and forth.
But you told me to refill the lubricant on train 2.
I told you that yesterday. What have you been doing?
A few years ago, an old man was killed by a steel spike that fell off one of these elevated bridges. The city issued an official apology to his family, then sent people out to slap some glue on every railway spike in the city.
I have to be on that train when it leaves. Don't care who else goes, even if it's the bastard and a bitch. As long as I get home, they'll get theirs in time. But the longer we stay here, the more people will wonder what's in the bag.
The architects who built this part of town really didn't give much for the idea of accessibility, did they? Look at this place. There must have been masses of people fleeing right at the beginning. Takes its toll on the grandeur. Still, I think there's something here that's a bit more recent. Want to have a look? Locked. I wonder if those tunnels are accessible from inside the station.
See that blinking light in the window? Wonder what that's about.
I don't know. Morse code?
Yeah, it says Marcus is a moron.
Two for salvation, please. One way.
Okay, so departure at 9, cargo for Eagleview and a few passengers, with time for unloading and routine checks. Let's say 10 hours. Train should be back here by noon tomorrow.
Can you hear it? The drone of the equipment, the hum of the crowd below. The calm, steady voice announcing departures, arrivals, and inevitable delays. How alive this place must have been when people knew where they were going.
I remember the news used to call them a protest group. Then they raided that warehouse, and they were upgraded to radicals. If things had kept going that way, I'm sure they'd eventually be terrorists.
They came from all over the city, fleeing the violence and at the same time chasing humanity's oldest conviction, that the next place will be better.
Shana, look, some of the new people brought 2 bottles of wine. They want you to have it.
Me? Get some mugs and share it with the others. Make sure everyone gets a taste. We all need it. From Mrs. Savinsek with sympathy. That's what the mechanic said when he dropped it off. At least, I think he said that. He looked half asleep. Sympathy. Ha! Canned fruit and powdered milk. The sympathies of an oligarch.
My first idea was to get the insane ones to do it for me when we went to the greenhouses. Make it look like an accident of sorts. But they can't be controlled. No matter, it was a far-fetched idea to begin with. This one is better.
You know how airport bars make excellent business off of people's fear of flying? I'm not sure it works like that for trains. Then again, look at where we are.
The key to the Tinker's storeroom. Gotta hand it to Mrs. Sav. She really thinks of everything. Told me to guard this with my life. For what she's paying me, I'll make it anyone's life. Maybe Patrashko's. Or that screaming bitch over by the benches.
Maxim, I wish you were still here, little brother. You were the only one who knew besides me. I'm alone now, but I will make amends. I just need full control of Eagleview and its resources. There must be a way. What a beautiful world we destroyed.
Savinsek International was a family corporation, founded by a young woman and the man who was at the same time her brother and her conscience. You stripped out the one, and what you have left is cold, sharp ambition.
Truly, the city's elevated rail system has been a godsend. Without it, we could never have hoped to reach the warehouses unmolested. The poor souls, they're stuck below. How I wish they could see what we're building. I will do right by them indeed. I had hoped to run into some people with specialist skills. People who could make a true asset for Eagle View, but there were none. No botanists or surgeons. We'll have to keep making do with those who seek us out.
That's right, sir. The repairs are almost done. I just need a little more time.
Very well, but you've been saying that since yesterday. Please be aware that my business is urgent.
Of course, sir. Of course. It's just some loose engine bearings. It'll be done right quick.
Crates, bundles, and boxes. A meager shadow of a financial empire, but it will be enough. Enough to repair what we have failed to save. Just so. I must not dwell on the lost. I am blessed with the aid of good friends in my mission.
He was born into money as the heir to a fledgling empire. It had all started out as a small dishwasher manufacturing company and an investment in Chernosk's future. He kept a photo of that first dishwasher on the wall in his office, but he never knew what it's like to be small.
Redistribution of wealth through force. We never had much force, but we had faith in abundance. Faith in the cause, in each other. Faith that we could bring down the system of the 5 founders. Few of us left now, and no faith to share.
They started out in university, uncertain of their future in this strange city. At first, it was only signs and slogans, the occasional campout before some bank meeting or other. Whatever chaos they hoped to inspire, it must pale before that which now engulfs the city.
Dear Station Master Venno. Such fine language, but I get it. Asking like it's a favor, but there's really no choice. All that's missing is the horse's head. But Marcus, he's already said yes.
Repair the train, she says. I'm already repairing the train, I say. No, she says, I want you to almost repair the train. Gotta say, this is the first time I've ever been asked to almost repair something. And Opa, a chimp could get the train running now.
If it could get inside your workshop, which isn't yours anymore. That's it then? You're running her errands now?
Relax, I'm done. And besides, do you see anyone else actually, like, paying me for doing this crap?
What excuses did he give himself? That his mind was clouded? That he is small and the world so very big? That his need was great, greater than that of the many? Or did he never need an excuse in the first place?
They value things over people. You see that cargo over there? That caravan? You think they spare a thought for you when they have treasures to count. It's the same as it's ever been. Property is the darling of the rich. I still remember my first day, blockading the road down by University Point. Education for all was pretty plain, as slogans go. But it was a peaceful protest. No time to be peaceful now. It's all coming down. But I don't know if I can. Are you crazy? You stole a box of cigars? Yes, I know, and I understand. But for God's sake, we need them to believe that we're just loud and stupid. They have guns. They have all the reason in the world to keep us here. Use your brain.
You know you have to. As long as there is a way back, they won't dare to move forward. And time is running out right between our fingers. You have to make them desperate.
I need you to appreciate the importance of my work, Miss Abramsky.
Is it more important than people? Than lives?
I am rebuilding society. Do you have anything to contribute to that? Anything at all? You'll be better off here.
This was meant for Central Bank. But I think the others would approve. No way back now. All I have to do is wait for the others to realize that. Savinsek has been reaching out to us. Perhaps she can be spared. As for the others, well, a revolution cannot be civilized.
She said the ends justify the means, yet she hesitated. Perhaps because she knew in some secret corner of her heart that in the eyes of some, their means could come to justify their end. They first fled to these high places because they thought it might be a gas of some sort, heavier than air. They remained here because it was easy to fortify, because the others didn't follow them here. The treasure vault. Medical supplies, seeds, electronics, everything you need to build a new home. And rule it.
Simon made this for me before we left Eagleview. Said it was something to remember him by. He's all I want to remember now. But if I forget, it's like they die all over again. So I think of them all the time. But Simon must never know.
When everything changes like this, does life go on? Can you even be said to live the same life as you used to? Fedorova has walked the path of the gun for a long time, but for very different reasons.
Mrs. Savinse, could I please trouble you for your signature on these employment contracts?
Indeed. I must say, however, that I cannot quite understand your insistence on such due process now that the courts and bureaus are gone.
Order will return soon enough. Eagleview must be a land of structure and sound legal practice.
This is where the morphine case came from. Someone opened this crate, took the morphine, and gave it to the mechanic? Judging by his glassy eyes, he's been using it himself. But he's too slow and dull to have stolen it without getting caught.
It was Mrs. Savinsek's idea to check the greenhouses, bless her. Some of these plants can be cultivated in Eagleview and used for food and medicine. I used to love gardening.
Bring this notebook to Mr. Patrashku. I know how things look, but he is not your enemy. I'll be there too, and we'll make this work. Please trust me. Signed, Fedorova. She has been kind to us so far. But what's in this notebook that's so important?
I've been with Savinsek, baby. 9 years. And you know why? Because I'm the best.
Impressive. You know, I think Savinsek might have a crush on Mr. Patrashku.
A crush? Baby, she hates him. Let me tell you about Mr. Spaff and Mr. Patrashku.
Mr. Patrashku, please listen. The bridge is out. We're trapped. And Savinsek has turned against you. She's been working the crowd up and getting your guard on her side. Please, just look at the notebook Shana gave you and listen to this recording. No, this can't be right. Why would she keep the train grounded? Says it's almost fixed. Anyone could make the final repairs, but the workshop is locked up. If it stays that way, we're stuck here. And Mr. Patrashku doesn't know. This came from Mr. Patrashku's cargo. His logo is right there on the lid. Medical-grade morphine for Eagleview's infirmary. So, what was that mechanic doing with it? Did he steal it, or did he just find the box? And where's the morphine itself? Shana's going to distract Savinsek, keep her occupied, while I get this door open and start the power back on. If her people do their part, we're getting out of here. If I'm fast enough this time.
She broke down the wall. How about that? Do you think it'll last? Or is this one of those truces that live exactly as long as the purpose does? Mind the infinite societal gap. Ah, another one of these. I had a feeling we might find one, because this is what we must have missed. Probably more than two as well. It looks like this one's hooked up to the same power grid as the trains. Want to play electrician? Huh, this switchboard connects to 3 different power sources here in the station. No connection, no weird machine, and no train either. Looks like we need to fire up those power sources first of all. This is it, I guess. I've never liked goodbyes. They're too definitive, but I think this might be the last time we see Chernosk. It's all about letting go in the end. Right. No looking back, pillar of salt and all that. We have a train to catch.
Overheard their guards talking. They've locked the grate. My bag. I have to get it back before that train leaves. Perhaps there's another way down?
Now departing for misunderstanding, conflict, and the upholding of divides. All aboard. End of the line. This is where they were all going. The famous mountains of Chernosk. Safety and stability, if you believe the brochure. Eagle View Plateau should be just up ahead.
dropped Miko!
Keep running, Joyce. Come on! Pavel! Pavel, where's Riho? I thought she was with you!
I don't know. I think she's ahead of us. We can't stop. Let's go!
We should just take this damn sign down.
Okay, so this is where we need to go. I say that with perfect certainty because of the fact that we can't actually go there yet.
They expect me to start it off. It's controversial. We need you on our side, Farid. Damn straight it's controversial. It's inhumane. So they need me to hammer in the first nail with a smile, like a philanthropist with a shovel. A radiant new society with an entry fee. The journey here is dangerous. Through Chernosk or the mountains, and we'll turn them away at the door? Unless they can donate to our utopia, of course. All the latest arrivals marked as welcomed or dismissed. Timur Mashkadov dismissed. The Demayev family welcomed because they brought with them 2 tanks of gasoline.
It's a home, but also an effigy. A monument to Mr. Petrascu's unfaltering industriousness, and 2 middle fingers in the face of the end.
Protest flyers. This can't go on. I understand Farid's reservations, but he's been the Council's face outward since we got here. We must show unity. I wonder if we can convince him to help build the toll booth in exchange for some compromise.
I'm sure I don't have to explain just how sensitive this work is. Can I count on your discretion?
100%, ma'am. I'm your man.
Good. Here's the key.
City Hall, of a sort. This is where Petrashku's and Savinsek's hand-picked delegates have been pulling strings in their absence. Strings and baited hooks.
I'm not alone, of course. We're all drawn here by the idea of Petrashku's new society, and some of us won't let go of that because times are tough. We're better off here than anywhere else, and they'll see it eventually. These names are my weapon.
He worked for Chernosk City Hall for 8 years. A popular politician with a gentle voice and roots on the ground floor of society. There was nothing he liked better than to gather names, to see support and unity so clearly summarized.
My shift on the perch today. Been instructed to fire warning shots if any new arrivals start acting up. With the new rules, little wonder if they're expecting troubles. Perhaps I should sign Farid's stupid petition.
A goodly view of the bridge. Their instructions mentioned warning shots, but emphasized the importance of Eagleview's safety. Going up is what I would say if this thing weren't out of juice.
They're open about it, but only in soft words. Arrivals won't be rejected, they'll be passed along. They're not taxed, they're asked to contribute to Eagleview. Having me build this stamped booth is the icing on that cake.
Jaromir came by the other day, asked me to join him in a formal petition to shut down Farid's protest. He was polite, but the others on his side. They're getting aggressive, talking about degeneracy in the system. I don't feel safe anymore.
Here, look. If you don't stop poking your nose into what's not your business, something might happen to you or that beautiful guard of yours. You're on dangerous ground. Back off while you can. What do I do, Luke? What the heck do I do?
I can't believe it. Those bastards took the stuff, but then they refused to even talk to me. Told me to go back and kiss Savinsek's ass. I have no idea why she's even bothering with them. But she wants me to keep trying.
He's sold many different things in his life. Cars, insurance policies, watches, both genuine and not. Packs of lies. Had a way out at all times. Kept his best friend out of it. Not because of fear of judgment, but because he was innocent. Eagleview needs people, but how many people does it need? They crowd together here as in Atlas Park. Even if we succeed in our mission and save these poor bastards, they have years of work ahead of them.
Got into an argument with Carl, and he waved his old badge in my face like it means something. Bet you anything he was the type of cop who'd stomp on a handcuffed man's back while telling him to stay calm.
We still honor the dead, trying to remember their names and faces, even as their numbers go beyond counting. Because it's the right thing to do. Because they're gone and can no longer hurt us.
I wish you could see this place now. We're really making something out of it. We wouldn't even be here if not for you. I know you didn't like flowers much, but I brought you some. They're from Joyce, too. She always liked you.
There you are. Isn't that better? Everyone's so busy they got no time for remembering. But old friends should have flowers and candles. I'd sing you a song, too. But my voice ain't so strong no more. Least you lot have the very best view.
It's a lock of her hair. Yeah. She gave it to me before she left for Chernosk with Mr. Patrashku and Mrs. Savinsek. It's, you know, kind of a soldier's tradition. But the other way around, I suppose.
Who built this place?
The Cliff Town was built by a nomadic people a few hundred years ago. Incredible craftsmanship for the time. The great pillars were already here by then, and the nomads thought they held up the sky. They must be ancient.
So, almost as old as you, Dad.
Oh, lunatics! You're painting my daughter up as some kind of psychopath. But she's just scared. They're all scared. Take this down. You hear me? Take this poster down.
ASUS. Luke, what is it now? You know I can't give you any more sleeping pills.
What? Can't I just pay you a visit? I'm offended.
They got into one of the medicine cabinets. Made off with everything. Mostly painkillers and gauze, but it'll be difficult to replace. A strange thing is, the cabinet wasn't damaged. They must have stolen the key from someone.
Ah, that stings. A sharp rock. That was all he had. Came at me like some Neanderthal out of a movie, screaming gibberish. If it had been anyone else in the gate that day, he wouldn't have left alive. Lucky guy.
I haven't had a real goulash since I was a kid. Warm food. You forget how important the little things are. Even Joyce cleaned her plate.
Pavel told them we were doctors, but not what kind. I should be upset, but we're doing pretty well so far. Doesn't take an MD to patch up the occasional scratch and bruise.
Below, you'll find Eagle View's main attraction, an old settlement built right into the cliffside. One of the wonders of the world, currently home to divergent opinions and threats of violence.
I'm Lara's father. Lara? Young girl? Dark hair? Oh, well, can I come down? She left her favorite sweater, you see, and I'd like to give it to her. No, I'd like very much to do it myself. Please, I just... Okay. Okay, I'm leaving.
All right, now everyone gets equal portions. I don't like the way Farid is carrying on right now, stirring up resentment. He must realize that what we have here is fragile, and we have people living in tents as it is.
He used to work for Chernosk's Traffic and Transports Department, and the fact that the city's roads were not neat, straight lines always bothered him.
Am I really doing this? I kept my name off the flyers because they asked me to. Now I'm building a toll booth just to keep painting the friendly picture. I'm doing their work for them to keep Eagleview together.
But what if we just left?
A symbol can be an object, a person, an act. Andropov fights for clarity in a dim world. Chana paints a wall red. Zimon gives a small trinket to the one he loves. And Farid tries to reimagine the greater good.
Captain's worried about the mountain pass on the other side of the Great Pillars. Thinks someone could approach Eagleview that way, from the Saran-Chernosk Highway. It sounds far-fetched, but we're stepping up patrols for a while anyway.
A special corps of mountain rangers used to patrol here, tasked with the safekeeping of the environment and the landmarks. Those who survived were swiftly drafted to a new cause.
I'm not going out there. Nah, man, screw it. You hear what he said? They'll be cleaning this place up. He's the guy I told you about, Andre. Let's just stay here. He'll sort it out.
Numerous file-ups for excessive force, more than one internal investigation into suspicions of bribes and perjury, higher than average number of shots fired per year of duty, 4 different partners who requested a transfer, and an uncle in the position of police director.
Look! Have you noticed that some of the guards are wearing these blue neck scarves?
Maybe they're just cold? It is windy up here.
Maybe. They're kind of distinct is all. Sorry, I guess I'm overthinking everything. Oh, Luke dropped his binder. Always in a hurry. I wonder if he's been keeping notes from... But... what's this supposed to mean? Ah, here. Marina wrote this before she left. Said she needed to get it off her chest. Apparently, some of the other guards have been grumbling about the administration, specifically about Mr. Patrashku. But she didn't have time to figure out why. Darn it. I can't get the numbers to line up. The taxes are coming in. They're checked and processed, but the actual storage volumes don't match. Either someone's been way sloppy with the books, or stuff is going missing. I need to make sure.
Come on, where is she? It's bad enough I have to go visit those nutcases down below. At least the delivery could be on time. They really do give me the creeps. I'm going to run out of smokes at this rate. I hate lying to Simon, but he's too soft, and ever loyal to Patrashku. I can see why. Sure, the old guy's easy to like. Savinsek has the right idea, though. Can't build a new world if everyone's arguing about how to do it.
So I've been keeping note of everything we found. And there's definitely something going on. It's like the administration is... I don't know. Divided. Pulling in different directions. Could just be because the bosses aren't here to take charge?
This could bring down Eagle View, Simon. You know that. It's too late. Revealing it now will tear us apart.
What about Patrashku?
He doesn't have what it takes. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
The truth, capital T, is a powerful thing. The evidence may be destroyed, but they'll still remember.
Okay, this is getting creepy. All weapons are supposed to be locked up in the barracks, and we don't keep this kind of riot shit in the first place. Someone here has been making petrol bombs, and they'd better hope we don't find out who they are. Got the tank all filled up, Councilman?
Oh, Artem, yes. We're well stocked. With the proper rationing, this should last us a while.
Great. Let me know if you need me and the boys to take a trip and siphon some more cars. Yeah, man, for real. I went down to check. All kinds of weird religious mumbo-jumbo. But I tell you what, a lot of it makes sense. Like how we're not letting in everyone, but we're still letting in the wrong people. Something needs to happen. Get me?
Listen up, everyone. We'll be storing most of our freshwater supply in this tower. But the seals are a bit loose. In other words, be careful when you draw water, or you'll flood this whole part of Eagle View. Repairs are underway, so don't worry.
Now what the hell are they doing down there? Arts and crafts? They're making themselves look silly with all this latest nonsense. And Farid should know better than that. Nobody's gonna take him seriously if this keeps up. Look at this. What are they even trying to say, huh? That they're angry with us? I can't blame them, but vandalizing a town like this ain't gonna help for shit. So someone went and nailed this up in the middle of the night?
Right. It's full of, well, accusations against Eagle View. It says oppressors right there, and corruption, and,
Yeah, I see it. Says heretics. Latest report is in. Looks like Farid is losing influence over his little sewing circle. Bet you anything they're missing the comfort by now. Kind of shame, really, but at least they'll all be home soon.
Artem! The storage! If the flames reach the fuel tank!
I'm on it. We've got the water right next to it. Just get the others out of here.
I couldn't have imagined. All those voices crying out, those half-finished and scrambled emotions. Where do you go from here? Hey, so this is where it's all going. Patrashku's cargo, the collected riches of Chernosk, painstakingly brought all along their strange little Silk Road to end up in a shed in the mountains. Not that it was doing Chernosk any good.
With the hydro generator up and running, Mr. Patrashku has ordered the petrol stored and saved for an emergency, or used as an auxiliary power source. Problem is, the hydro can't power all of Eagle View as it stands.
Okay, so it looks like they caused a bit of moisture damage when they let all the water out. Not to worry, I'm sure the clever people of Eagle View have a solution for this. You know, buckets or pumps. Welcome to Eagle View. Safety and sunshine, enjoy our scenic view and colorful nightlife. Don't drink the water. No, seriously, we don't have enough. It all hinges on this dubious-looking thing. The magic of electricity. Power's gone out in Chernosk several times since the initial chaos. Some power plant or substation destroyed in a rampage or abandoned by its panicking custodians. Always restored by some brave expedition of survivors. So far.
The view is amazing from here.
I agree.
You're not even looking at... You sleaze.
This was an empty plateau before. They've carted all this up here from Chernosk. The stone, cement, and steel, the people, Enough to inspire just a little bit of hope, wouldn't you say?
I hate to leave. And I hate to see you go. But who else could I trust? Ruslan has the brain of a mouse. Arturo the spine of a worm. Only you, Tanya. My finest.
Yes, I will come back. I will check the police stations and military camps, and I will come back to rise with you in the light.
I can't stay here. The things William's talking about, I've heard them before. The place may be different, but the people are always the same. They shun you, or they use you.
We managed to bring a lot of stuff with us. Water, food, sleeping bags. And on top of that bitch Savinsek has been sending these little shipments of goodies as tokens of her sympathy. I must admit I didn't expect that.
There was a natural cave system here first. No useful ore or stone, but plenty of shelter from the harsh mountain winds. The town came later, and I can't quite fathom how they went about building it, but I'm glad to see this place again.
To the administration of Eagleview. Dear sirs and madams, what follows is an account of the terms and conditions that we, as free citizens of Eagleview, set forth as regards our return and reconciliation with you. Okay, let's see. Number 1. We all signed employment contracts with the administration, making a show of sticking to the old order of things. Old laws in a new society. It's possible we could bring some of those rejected people back. It seems likely that some of them would be camping out nearby still. If we send someone to get them, we can stand them before all of Eagleview and look them in the eye.
Farid took away Jarrell's machete, told him that what we're doing is passive resistance. The coward is still a councilman. He's just playing at being the rebel because it makes other cowards love him. This won't be enough. For Andre and Mila, maybe. They won't see it coming. But Eagleview is stronger. And you just know Farid's going to run right along to squeal on us. We need guns.
It must be tricky to run a little startup of fanatics when no one can agree on what it is you're fanatical about.
There's a purpose here. A mission. I can feel it. They said Eagleview would be the new society, but it's just the catalyst. The new world begins here, with us, and it would be a good world, a pure world, a light with holy fire!
Are you sure you don't want to join us?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but my place is up there. I'll try and talk to some people for you, though.
Thank you, Artyom. We'll take all the help we can get.
Here's hope manifested. The hope that after all that has passed and all the words we can never take back, we can still make someone else see our point of view. That all we need is the right set of words.
A whole box? Good job! Now we just need to get them up there and make sure they're spread around. They'll come to their senses, you'll see.
Look, we can get through here. There's a whole mess of tunnels in there.
William, I've already told you a dozen times, we're not staying here that long.
And what if we do, huh? What if they don't give up? We need to prepare. To hell with Farid. To hell with... To hell with anyone who's going to stand in our way.
It takes a certain kind of person to build something with a pickaxe. I don't like the feeling of these tunnels. I think I prefer the sewers after all.
What is this? What are you filling their heads with? The shame of crimes you never committed. What is that supposed to mean?
Dude, chill out. I didn't write that bullshit, man. It's like someone's teen poetry or something. It's all emo and shit like that, man. Go ask someone else.
Don't play dumb with me. You may not have written this drivel, but I know you're twisting them. They're just tired and scared. You have no right to use them like this.
We need symbols if we're to be strong. And tenets. Humanity must be reminded of what it has lost. Rage and hatred. The great motivators. Our ancestors raged against the rules of nature and built a world from dirt.
He escaped from his home at the age of 16 and stowed away on a ship. He spent all the years since searching, utterly convinced that the light of the divine is right around the next corner. He has cried out for God on crowded subway trains and brawled with the devil himself in seedy pubs.
I've been selected to carry this week's gift to Gentle Andre. I'm so nervous. What if I do something wrong? Oh, will he speak to me? Me alone?
There are many groups that encourage their members to give up their material possessions. Of course, those possessions have to end up somewhere.
Savinsek's running boy keeps bringing us supplies, but now he's giving them directly to me and Andrei, and in secret. They must have noticed the wind is turning, because he's told us to keep in mind that Petrashku's administration drove us down here.
They would gather here in the half-light and egg each other on, work up a fierce and intoxicating atmosphere. Then they'd call for worship and the room would fall silent so everyone could fill in the blanks with whatever they wanted it to mean.
We've been carving these wooden symbols so we can carry them around our necks and hang them up outside. I feel good wearing mine. And Ruslan's been carving all day. He's quite good at it.
More and more people are listening to William. Of course we were right in splitting from Eagle View. They were corrupt and hateful. Of course we're here for a reason. But William is extreme. So if we could strike a pleasant middle ground...
Ah, there we go. I was beginning to wonder if I'd been wrong about these things. But you can go ahead and chalk one up for us. We're close now. This is probably the last one. The last stop. Let's get it running.
I guess this could go on top of the machine. That Gerasimov guy went tinkering with it first thing after we got in here. But the way he rambles on, it's impossible to tell if he actually knows what it is. Of course, William says it's a holy machine.
Do not speak that way. You have no right to speak so of holy things.
This is not a church, you idiot. This is about Eagle View's future.
Eagle View has no future. Vadim will not give up Father's faith. What has it ever done for him? If he will not be one of us, then he will be one of the enemies. I must save him.
I miss it. It was simple work. It was simple, because Father kept the business running. We just swung the hammers.
I miss Father, too.
Andrei's face is a work of art, and his voice can shake this mountain. Problem is, he knows that, and he likes it way too much. If he gets too full of himself, he might lose his touch.
She was always too smart for her place. Stifled by small frames and flat environs. She wanted out. She wanted to fly. Even if the wings must be made of wax.
The way everyone's taken to William's ranting, it's clear they're unimpressed with Farid, ready for new leadership. Andrei's raw charisma has softened them up, and all we need now is some kind of grand display.
You must come to listen, Vadim. Andrei is wise. He teaches us.
Ruslan, please. I don't know what that machine did to us, but what happened above...
You always do this. The machine made us see. You just cannot bear to be wrong.
We paint the walls. Yes, we leave our message everywhere for the people to see. They will come to us. They will know we are true. Do you see? Do you feel?
No, I don't. I'm not sure where you think you're going with this, William, but I suggest you stop. Or the others might think you're just going crazy.
You are... Don't you walk away from me!
That's it then. This is no longer my protest group, but Andre's band of the faithful. He came to me in a swagger, tossed me the stale bread, and told me it was my severance package.
Dad's fighting days are long gone. His leg's been acting up again, and I left him. He's alone up there. I was just so scared. I thought Farid could help me. I'm not even sure I could leave now. They're watching the stairs.
Her father was wounded by shrapnel years ago, and she took it upon herself to help him live with dignity. Moved to Chernosk to work for its financial administration so old Benny could receive the benefits. Never complained, even as they stumbled through a burning city.
Look at me, still collecting names like someone's going to care. But there are names on this list. People who are as scared as I am, and maybe that does count for something.
We used the machine.
What's that, babe?
The machine. Everyone's wondering about it. William has them half convinced that it's some kind of god machine. We can use that. Put on a show. All right. Everyone gather round. We've all been curious about this machine, and now it's time we found out. We will offer this holy symbol to it. Andre, come forth and lead us. What's happening? Happy? No, I don't know. I feel free.
Oh, those poor bastards. They couldn't have known how it worked. A moment's whim, all it was. These machines change people. They're what set Chernosk on fire. But it didn't start with them. No. We have to get back to that big red button.
This document, the things that Dr. Gerasimov told me. I can't process it. It sounds unbelievable, but I think it's true. And if it is, then we have to go. Lara will come with us, I'm sure. Perhaps Vadim as well.
We are rising in rage now, that we may ascend into heaven. Come, brothers and sisters, for heaven is a place on earth, and we shall build it with our own hands.
compassion is a serpent we must slay.
There were several religious communities in Chernosk. Some of them predicted the end of the world, often pinpointing some specific date and time so they could clear their schedules for it. When it finally began with their families and friends, they didn't know what to do.
What are you doing, babe?
I'm putting gold epaulets on your coat, like a Navy officer's. Everyone's in love with you. But if we're going to keep it that way, you need to look the part.
Her name was Riho. At least that's the name inscribed on the back. Artyom said she disappeared during the pogrom. Now Farid wants me to show it to the others, to make them realize that people have been hurt. I think they realize that already.
Worshipping the machine makes sense. Sure. Ugh, the way it felt. That rush. I could never have imagined such a thing. I don't know if we can risk it again with what happened, but I would like to.
I've lost them. I have to accept that. To Andre or to William, it makes no difference. Those few of us who are left will follow Dr. Gerasimov to the canyon. If I can get the drawbridge down, we'll be on our way.
Was that the... Someone's trying to cross the bridge! You there! Get after them!
Driver, follow that group of terrified running people. The game is afoot. Goodbye, Eagleview. We hardly knew ye. If our mission works out for us, do better in the future. Great view. Somewhere off in that direction lies Chernosk, just waiting for us to pull through. Well, I'm no mountain ranger, but I don't think those giant rings are naturally occurring. We're getting close again.
Doctor, be honest. Is there any chance we may encounter crazies inside?
They are not crazy, they are victims. And yes, there's a chance. It's why we had to run in the first place. Good thing you brought your cudgel, no?
They stopped here to rest, our confused would-be heroes. The last breath before the plunge.
What do you think those giant rings are?
Dr. Gerasimov says they are focus amplifiers. I asked him to explain, but he said he didn't have the time to help me understand.
The facility will have gone on automatic lockdown following the incident. It could be opened from inside or from the main office, but also from here. There's a hidden console in an armored casing. If we get that open, I have the code. Keep an eye out for a key somewhere here. We need 2 of them to open the console, and I only have 1. But I know Dr. Kozlovsky left hers here when we stopped to rest. She might have buried it. So get digging. Look, here. There's a hidden ladder behind the rock. We improvised with ropes when we left. But if I can get to the console, we should be able to get the ladder out. The Institute did nothing by halves. This is strange. The lockdown isn't in effect for the first floor, and the central override has been used. That means someone's been in there. Someone with access. And they might still be inside.
Cars used to come around that bend. Anonymous vans and trucks carrying shipments and personnel, honored guests. I wonder how many of them felt like they were being swallowed by this mountain, lost in its shadow. Why does this feel like walking down the barrel of a gun? A hope, a fault, an unfound door. This place is covered in that smell, like burned copper. I remember that smell now, like a dream. Like waking up to the scent of coffee or summer rain. Except this is what fear smells like.
Be advised. Main power compromised. Facility running on auxiliary power.
Fedorova was here. She'd sit behind this glass with a gun and a cup of coffee. Not entirely sure what she was protecting or who she was protecting it against.
Thomas, did you eat my sandwich again? Yeah, well, there was mayo on that, you dumbass. Mayo has eggs in it. Yeah, have fun with that. And don't worry about the sandwich. I ate your chicken drumstick instead.
Mrs. Humanity, the doctor will see you now. I hear the clicking of many keyboards. This place rested on a firm bureaucratic foundation, a global institution which funded research efforts in every field imaginable. Tile hard for a swift future.
Farid! Farid, where are you? They're inside! Barricade the hallway!
They blocked the hallway to keep their friends and colleagues out. The friends and colleagues who were suddenly trying to murder them, laughing and screaming on the other side of the barricade. I wonder if they ever got out again.
Look, Mom! Argo the Barbarian is riding on the dragon, but the dragon is asleep.
I'm trying to work, Joyce. Go show it to Mommy, okay?
How We Saved the World by Pavel Kulik. No, too pretentious. How We Did It. Needs to catch the eye. Human Nature and How We Changed It. Should that be I instead of we? Or would that sound narcissistic?
Do we really want to raise Joyce in a place like this?
Be advised. This week's team dinner will be beef stroganoff.
For such a remote location, they ate well. 3 kinds of granola, fresh fruit, protein shakes, Pancake Tuesdays, wine and sirloin to celebrate major breakthroughs. Imagine if Eagleview knew about this well-stocked pantry. A small library, but there's something for everyone. Scientific essays and manuals, literary classics, fantasy, children's books, the occasional filth for when those children finally fall asleep.
Hey, honey. Yeah, I'm reading Ulysses again. Takes my mind off the troubles we've been having with the emitter tables. I'm still trying to get Joyce interested in books, but she's too much in love with those comic books.
Ors, become one of them.
A sound mind in a healthy body. They were encouraged to rest regularly, to exercise and make time for social activities. They were to be a family united by work.
I've been slacking off lately. Nothing ever happens here if you don't count Joyce trying to get in everywhere she isn't supposed to be. Still, I need to stay sharp for the inspections, if nothing else.
We should never have come here.
So here's where the dreams became reality, circuit by circuit. Grigori's tower, the giant rings, the devices they left in their trail all the way to Chernosk. All parts of the largest, most audacious machine ever built.
Emitter relay important, though signal strength very low.
Dr. Karamov, if I may bother you for a moment? Thank you. I've been thinking about these simulated reality modules that you've been working on for the therapy department. Could they serve as emotional stimuli, do you think?
Dr. Anderson needs assistance with configuring one of the emitter tables. The signal strength is inconsistent over time. Look, you haven't exactly provided us with an instruction booklet, and you keep making changes. I'm not going to argue about this.
started out with mice and rabbits, then pigs, then monkeys. They tested drugs, beta blockers, shock therapy applied directly to the limbic system. This was many years ago.
Dr. Ross, concerning this new conjugate,
Dr. Ross, I cannot find words strong enough to express my distaste for this latest decision. We have always been strict with our ethics and accountability. If we do not abandon this line of research, I am afraid I will have to tender my resignation.
we need concrete data from the emitter tables, something we can define and base the next step on, but the patient's minds keep resisting the scan. Morphine didn't help, and neither did halothane. Perhaps lorazepam?
Be advised, routine maintenance is 54 days late.
This is a calibrator to calibrate things. Our old friend Salma worked on this once upon a time. Looks like you're supposed to slot something into it.
Unforgivable. A wanton breach of ethics.
Here we are, and there we are. Two rulers on two thrones, their voices crying out in endless echoes, crying out for each other with minds long since detached from their bodies, dwelling in a fragment of a mirror in which the world was once reflected. That doesn't feel like a smart thing to do, unless we want to see those red flashing lights again. Let's see what we can do differently this time. I don't know what's going to happen to us. We restore to factory settings, revert everything they did, and this reality comes crashing down. Well, whatever awaits us, let's just hope it works this time. Right? Right. I'll see you on the flip side. Do you feel it? The signal hums out across the world, and for an instant they all sing along with it. A choir of the lucky and the brave. I can hear them. The mother who in anger killed her child. She swore, she cursed, she loathed her gentle heart. The slave who loved his chains, who clung to them in fear. Upon his skin the touch of steel was soft and safe and warm. The lovers who forgot the world. Theirs was a place of mingled water and idolized meiosis. A doorless room could be no safer. We have done what we can. What's left is them, and they are wind and dreams. Behold the human, who is flawed and perfect.